See, we was fucking with all of them. We actually recorded at the same studio as Quick and all them niggas, man. Everybody was at Echo Sounds recording, and we was up there too. And Ice Cube played No Vaseline for us when he made it. He said, nigga, listen to this shit. We was all at Echo Sound. Nigga, that nigga put that motherfucker on, it was bleeding through the motherfucking speaker.
So you heard that song before?
Before it even came out. I said, yeah, that motherfucker gonna fuck some shit up. And that's what it did. Well, Operation From the Bottom, the name started right here in this backyard.
Is that right?
Yeah, we was
And tell us who was in the group first.
The group was Flipside, rest in peace, Bust Stop, and we had Lyrical Flynn, and it was me, Lone B. And so we decided, they was all in and out of jail, and once they all was out of jail together, we decided to start a group. And so we was trying to think of a name for the group. And you know, back then it wasn't that many groups out. So we thought about our community, so we know Watts had to be in it. Then we knew we was at the bottom, so we started calling the bottom of Watts. And at first we called ourselves BOW, B-O-W, bottom of Watts. But then Bus Stop said, nah, we need something else with it, man. And so we was like, you know, chopping it up. What can it be? What can it be? And then Bust Stop, I think he was the one that came up with Operation From the Bottom, O.F.T.B. We was calling ourselves Operation From the Bottom because we was trying to be the voice out the bottom that make it out and, you know, make things better. When the truth started, we already had our record out. See, before then, you know, you had NWA, you had Easy, you had Ruthless Records. And then we was like trying to mimic that. So we had Bottom of Watch Records. But we didn't have no entities to get our shit out like they did. So we eventually ended up running into Spade, who turned us on to a couple of managers, and we ended up catching up with Greedy Greg, who was Quicknell manager, and that's how we got signed to Big Beat Atlantic.
And what year was that when you signed with Greedy Greg?
That was '92. We didn't know nothing about the game, and Greedy Greg probably didn't know that much. So, you know, it was about just taking them into whoever wanted the money right now. We had a couple of more offers, but we felt like Big B was the best offer, and we wanted to get our shit done right now because we were still in the streets grinding and doing all the shit street niggas do.
So a lot of this was like learn as you go.
Yeah, exactly. Because there wasn't no blueprint. Who the fuck was rapping who made it big back then? Nobody yet, especially not no group except NWA, and they were still struggling. We was, you know, we were just trying to figure it out, and we was going to the best spots to record, and, you know, we was meeting people. We was always out there meeting people. So, shit, we was them niggas that end up sneaking in the club and end up in the VIP every time. We was only signed to a one-album deal. First, they wanted to give us a single deal, but we wanted the whole album because we wanted our shit out, and, you know, we didn't know nothing about the game. So we was like, shit, that's a record deal. You wasn't getting them. So we took it then, and once we put that out, that came out at the same time as The Chronic.
Is that the Slangin' Dope?
Yeah.
That was a whole album?
That was a whole album, but they put out the single first, Slangin' Dope. And then after that, they dropped the album called Straight Up Watts. But we didn't, you know, we didn't got no big push, and back then, Dre then was sucking the mother, everything dry. I wasn't nobody selling records then, but we didn't know. We thought it was us or our management or whatever. So shit, we went to Suge office one day, and he was in there with Second to None them, and they was complaining about Greedy Greg. And we kind of was bitter about Greedy Greg too, because we felt like he should have been doing more for our career. So he told us to go over there to the meeting. He finna get these niggas out the motherfucking contract. And so, you know, I would say the rest of it for later, but yeah, we all went over there, and he got them out of their contract, so that made us get out our contract. And then we went to Death Row, and Suge said, y'all don't even gotta sign with me. I'm just gonna help y'all however I can help y'all. I'll give y'all money right now because I know y'all need money, and I'll put y'all in the studio. And if y'all want to sign to me, y'all can sign to me. If y'all don't, then y'all can go wherever y'all want to go, but I'm just down with y'all. So shit, from that day on, we started fucking with Death Row.
So was this late 93, early 94?
Yeah, this was like early 93.
Eventually, your relationship with Death Row leads you to doing a track on the Above the Rim soundtrack.
Yeah.
What's the name of that song, and tell us how that came about?
The name of that song was Crackin', and that motherfucking Crackin' was a beast. I knew it when we first made it, so Suge had the Above the Rim soundtrack. He said, yeah, I got the soundtrack coming out. I want y'all to put a song on there. And so we said, cool, so we submitted him the song, and what little the people know, when we submitted the song, we was sitting in the office, you know, chilling. Him and Quick was back there, so he played the motherfucker for Quick. And Quick must have told that nigga, man, that motherfucker's a banger. So he came running up out the room saying, man, that motherfucker dope right there, what is that? Because Quick thought we were saying stuff. He thought we were saying, let me out. I said, no, nigga, we saying crack him. Let me at him. He said, man, that shit is dope. So that Suge said, okay, man, I want y'all to be on the soundtrack with that one right there. And that's how we got on that soundtrack.
And who was in that movie?
I was the one Pac was in. Yeah, and the song went in the movie too. The song was in the movie too.
That Crack 'em video, it's on YouTube. Anybody can see it. I was wondering if we could just talk about that day. That was shot in the Nickerson Gardens.
Yeah, man.
And it was about 100 deep bloods.
Man, that was the best motherfucking real. You ain't gonna never see no another video like that again. They'll have to try to reenact it, but that was a real community coming out. All the niggas in the hood. I'm talking about the babies in the hood. Everybody was at that motherfucker, man. That was a beautiful thing because we was like the big hope. These niggas finally finna make it. Suge came to the video shoot, him and you know his homies, and you know everything was cool, and it was a slight little incident that, you know, jumped off for that video that really fucked up us getting that video out.
The rumors I heard is that he got dragged into a bathroom, a bunch of bounty hunters had him in there, and O.F.T.B had to come save the day.
Well, you know, they put a 10 on it too. He didn't get dragged in the bathroom. What happened was he was fucking with our homies on another deal. So, you know, everybody started trying to get in the game, so they was doing another deal. And so the homies just tried to catch him and hem him up in our hood and, you know, get him where he want to, but they didn't drag him in the bathroom. They told him, come in the bathroom and talk. So I guess he went in there and talked. I wasn't there when he went in. But yeah, the niggas came and got me and said they got Suge trapped in the bathroom. So I went up there and, you know, they had a couple of homies on the door. I said, look out, blood, let me in this motherfucker, and open up the door. And, you know, they were just sitting there talking. And I said, blood, you all right? And, you know, he said, relief came on his face. And he said, yeah, I'm cool. And, you know, he came on out the bathroom. And, you know, it was a couple of little words exchanged between us and the homies and all that, because I didn't like how the shit really went down. And then, you know, the shit kind of like died over. But I know Suge probably had a bad taste in his mouth about that video. And so that's probably why it never came out on Death Row.
And at that time, did you already know Pac, or?
Yeah, we knew Pac because he used to be at Echo Sound too. See, everybody was recording over there because that was one of the biggest studios and the best sounding studio. So he used to be in and out of there too, and then I used to run into him like on the west side at the little theater niggas used to go to and shit like that.
Because he wasn't signed to Death Row at the time.
No, he was signed with Interscope. But when he came to Death Row, when he first got out, the first niggas he called was us. So he got to the studio and was doing his thing. He said, give me your O.F.T.B number. He called us right into this house right here, called my grandmother and said, is Lo there? She said, who is this? She said, Tupac. She came out and said, Ron, somebody on the Tupac too. I said, what? Bam. So I got on the phone. He said, yeah, what's up, Lo? I said, what's up? He said, it's Pac, man. I'm at the studio. Y'all come up here. I'm out. And shit, we went up there. And shit, we started getting it in. As soon as we got there, we did a song called The Struggle Continued.
And this is right when he got bailed out by Suge.
This is right when he got bailed out. He probably wasn't out a good day.
When you look back at it, you guys did singles on a bunch of soundtracks, but never put out an album on Death Row.
Yeah,
Do you have an opinion on why that happened like that?
Well, it's two reasons why it happened. Because of the Death Row, how can I put it? Roster. Because of the Death Row roster, I mean, you had people who was there before we came. You had Snoop Dogg already had his thing going. You had the Dogg Pound, then you had Corrupt, then you had Nate Dogg, you had Jewel, you had Miss Chalet. All these albums, what Death Row was designed for those artists to come out.
That's an incredible roster
yeah,
too, right there.
Exactly.
And you right behind that.
Exactly,
right?
yeah. And then they mad about their album ain't coming out, and we really can't be mad. And Suge was brilliant because it was always a soundtrack coming up.
And so then that's when he went to you guys. It's like he's giving you guys just little crumbs, though.
Yeah, and not only
to be disrespectful, but
yeah,
you know, it's like he's just giving you a little to whet your appetite, but not giving you the whole thing.
Well, see, Suge, it ain't like he designed this shit, because he was learning as he go, too. It was just that, like Buncher used to always say, that's a lucky motherfucker. It's just that he was getting so lucky at deals that they was coming right up at the right time when you had all this pressure, when you got all these artists, they want their album out, they want to get out there. Well, okay, I know I'm going to have a meeting, I'm going to tell y'all when it's coming out, get your album ready, you got studio time. But right now, you finna be on this new soundtrack right here. It's finna be hot. You finna get a video. Bam, this gonna keep you going. This is blowing you up. And here go a check. I mean, shit, we back happy again.
Can you talk to us about what those checks look like? What kind of checks back in 93, 94 were y'all getting for these singles?
Well, yeah, for them singles, we was getting like, because it was 3 of us, we used to always want to split our money evenly. So we was getting $15,000, $30,000 a song. This is just up front. So when we turn it in, bam, here you go. And then we ended up, because we had a good relationship with Suge, and because there was business going on, even though it was business, we ended up getting $5,000 a month a piece, and we didn't even have an album out. Plus, we was getting the best engineers, the best. If you would have tallied all that up, shit, we owed Death Row probably $2-3 million.
But then, here comes the beast. He signs to Death Row after y'all, and now this guy's putting out album after album, double albums. We're talking about Tupac, obviously.
Yeah.
Now, how do you guys feel?
Oh shit, man! You already know. We already frustrated now, because eventually time is going by now. I mean, a year done went by, so we getting frustrated. And then you know the soundtracks, they cool now. But we done got used to that shit. We ready for our album to come out. Fuck all that. We at the point where we was calling Suge mad in the motherfucker, but he always got something to sue you over. Look, man, y'all got studio time, nigga. Let me hear the album, turn it in, and you know that'll take a week or two or whatever, or change the song, change this. So that just kept prolonging us while all this other shit was transpiring, and we watching it. We saying, okay, come, Pac shooting the video, come up here. This doing that, so we all over the place. We at the studio with him. We got blocks in the studio. We happy because a lot of motherfuckers wasn't getting shit, and was getting mad because Sugar had to, you know, he was playing like both sides of the fence, and then don't forget he was managing all these other motherfuckers. He had Quick, Mary J. Blige, Craig Mack, Heavy D. That nigga had damn near everything on the West Coast was in that fucking office. I mean, the East Coast was in that office trying to either get signed to manage.
So he was managing artists that weren't signed to Death Row also.
Man, that nigga had it cracking.
So do you think that because of what happened to Death Row when Pac got killed, O.F.T.B is like a big what if, because pretty much Death Row was over after Pac got killed.
Yeah, Death Row, well, it wasn't exactly over. It could have went better. It went the wrong way after Pac got killed, because they still was the #1 label. They still had all the avenues to put the records out, but Suge didn't never put the right motherfucking records out. And if he would have put us out, we would have kept that motherfucker going, because we had the era back then and all the people and everything. So if he would have put out that O.F.T. album called Damn Near Dead, or he would have put out some other shit, it could have kept going, but he was in jail, so he was kind of, you know, trying to politic the shit too much.
And also, Dre wasn't producing all of the music at Death Row.
Hell no, Dre wasn't producing. Dre was working on his own shit. Don't forget, Dre was still trying to get shit off the ground his motherfucking self. So he was working on his own shit, and you know Dre ain't no fast worker. At least from what I know, it takes him time to put these masterpieces together. So he ain't got time to keep working on everybody's shit. And so everybody got a hope sandwich in their mouth. Dre gonna do at least one of them. They went from he gonna do the album to at least one of them. And so, you know, everybody was waiting to get Dre to do some work, but wasn't no work get done. So that's how Daz started producing a lot of shit.
Daz, and also was Johnny J.
Yeah, Johnny J was producing a lot of shit, and they had a few more. We had our own producers, so we just was hoping to do one song. Our whole thing we went there was to get Dre to do a song for us. Don't forget, everybody had albums ready. Suge had a vault full of shit.
You guys, although your album never came out, you guys must have had enough songs to do like 2 or 3 albums, right? Oh
yeah, man, we had loads of shit, man. I'm talking about tons of shit. So that's another thing what was keeping Suge with us to it. All right, man, y'all gotta give me a song. Which ones y'all want? Then let me look at this. I don't want that. So it was a lot of changing going on with him and us, which was helping prolong the situation. But yeah, we had enough shit for like 3 albums. We had shit with Hammer. We had shit with Snoop. We had shit with Pac. We had everybody on our motherfucking album. This before all the feature shit really started. Everybody was on the O.F.T.B shit. We had Jewel. We had everybody on that motherfucker.
And then most of these tracks, they've never been released?
Yeah, we released the motherfucking shit. After all the shit went down, we released our own shit called The Missing Death Row File. Me and Flip did. We released that shit, and then we had to shut that shit down too once they start figuring out, you know, A to Z, because you gotta have your rights to that shit before you put it out.
Okay, so then after Pac gets killed, Suge goes to prison, and at this point, you're ready to leave and go another route.
Yeah, because while we was at Death Row, we was smart in the game too. We started our own label called Flat Broke. So we had already had 16 groups lined up and a compilation, and all in we had half of their albums done, because we was planning on piggybacking off Death Row promotion when they promote O.F.T.B album, and then O.F.T.B was gonna bring their whole label with them. So that was our first initial plan. And when Suge got the bullshit, and then we said, fuck you to Suge, we gonna do our own thing. And so we dropped a compilation called Return of the West. But it was presented by O.F.T.B, and since we were still signed to Suge, even though I went down to jail and seen him, and he told me, oh, Lord, don't trip, I'm gonna let y'all go and put y'all shit out, and I ain't tripping, y'all can leave if y'all want to. So I left that day, and we went and dropped our shit probably about 4 or 5 months after that, and it got cease and desist from that nigga.
Basically, did it come from Kenner?
Yeah, you know, we had a deal with, we had a deal through Tiger Records, and they had a deal through Warner Brothers, I believe. So that shit went straight to them. Once them letters came out there, we had to shut that whole shit down, man. Pac Mama and Snoop Company and everybody was on that. Hammer, everybody was on that album, so they all got mad at that project because nobody had rights to that shit but them and Death Row. And then since everybody left Death Row, they had the rights, so all they people was, oh no, you know, they was all over that shit.
Thanks for watching StreetGangs.com. Please like and share the video you just watched and leave a comment below to tell us what you think. You can also watch 2 of our previous episodes to the right. Please visit the link to our Patreon page and support our campaign. And don't forget to subscribe.